Welcome to Nordic Market News, Friday, January 27th. We summarize the past week's most market-affecting news every Friday. Looking at each country's stock market index, the past week has been turbulent but mainly positive for most Nordic countries. Helsinki 25, 0.1% up this week or minus 0.5 today. OMX 30 in Stockholm, 1.1 this week or minus 0.7 today. OSCBX in Norway, 0.5 this week or minus 0.6 today. Copenhagen 20, 0.4 this week or minus 0.2 today. And the overall index of Nordic 40, 1.2% this week or minus 0.6 today. Starting in Finland, Finnish large-cap companies Kone and Wärtsilä has announced their quarterly reports this week. Wärtsilä actually earlier this morning. Infrastructure supplier Kone announced an operating result of €392 million for the fourth quarter of yesteryear. This is an improvement from last year as well as the estimated result from SME Direkt. Net turnover was €2.6 billion. And despite this result being in line with market expectations, overlooking this graph from Infront, the company's stock dropped minus 7% after the report was released. And Wärtsilä managed to reach their revised yearly financial goals for the entire year of 2016. During the fall, Wärtsilä revised and reduced their revenue prognosis for the year, and a fairly successful fourth quarter helped the company to reach its goal. Wärtsilä's pre-tax result dropped 13% during 2016 compared to 2015. Finnair is proposing 3 new members for the board, while current chairman leaves his post. The new names for the board are Colm Barrington from Fly Leasing, Meng Du from the startup scene, and Jonas Mårtensson from the Swedish gaming company Mojang. Chairman Klaus Heinemann steps down at the annual meeting 16th of March, and current Deputy Chairman Jouko Karvinen will most likely take over. In Denmark, former real estate company Victoria Properties has been one of the leading stars on the Danish stock exchange so far this year, 2017. The stock has surged 560% total since the turn of the year, with a 100% surge during one single day, which is displayed in this graph taken yesterday, Thursday, showing the development of Victoria Properties over a period of 6 months. Increased stock prices is usually most welcome by a company, but the management of Victoria Properties has announced a press release with a mild warning to the market. In the release, CEO Rasmus Bundgaard says the fiscal position of Victoria Properties has not changed, and no plans about future strategic decision has been announced. According to the Danish magazine Børsen, or Stock Exchange, the real estate company's internal capital is around 0 Danish kroner, and what once was a thriving business is now an empty shell. Victoria Properties was traded at 3 Danish kroner at the end of 2016. This week, the price peaked at 15 Danish kroner and has since stabilized at around 11 Danish kroner. Telecom company TDC is struggling on the Danish stock exchange today due to Telia's quarterly report released this morning. Last week, rumors about Telia planning to acquire TDC was reported in Swedish and Danish press. Today, Telia confirms TDC has been on the radar, but the conclusion is that the acquire TDC would be too expensive. This is not the first time TDC has been surrounded by rumors of a greater play in being interested in the company than withdrawing after some time of speculation. Analysts now say this is making the TDC stock less attractive. Over to Norway. Telenor's subsidiary in Malaysia, Digi, reports the EBITDA result of 1.44 billion Norwegian kroner for the fourth quarter of last year. This is an increase from Q4 of 2015 with 1.38 billion Norwegian kroner. Meanwhile, revenue for Digi decreased from 3.4 billion Norwegian kroner to 3.2. Digi reported an increased subscriber level of 50,000 users. The telecom company has estimated a revenue and EBITDA result of 2017 matching that of 2016. Countries within and outside of OPEC has come out strong on their commitment to reduce oil production. This is according to the oil ministers after last weekend meeting in Vienna. All countries are abiding by the agreement, said Energy Minister of Russia, Alexander Novak. 1.5 million barrels has already been cut from the daily production, but by the end of January, the aim is to reach 1.7 million barrels of reduced production. So far, all countries have held their part of the agreement, which stretches into a 6-month period of 2016. No discussion has so far taken place about prolonging the agreement, but Alexander Novak says he sees an opening for that particular outcome. The parties included in the agreement have decided to meet again within 2 months, 17th of March. Finally, in Sweden, Fingerprint cards have had a rough week. The National Economic Crimes Bureau has arrested former CEO and current shareholder Johan Karlström, as well as board member Lars Söderfjell, for abuse of power in connection with the company's profit warning issued in December of last year. Both men were released Tuesday, and during Wednesday, Lars Söderfjell announced that he is withdrawing from the board. Söderfjell still claims he's innocent and says the decision to leave the board was voluntary with the company's best in mind. The stock dropped 7% initially on Monday, recovered some on Tuesday, but continued to struggle during the rest of the week. As you can see in this graph from Infront taken yesterday, Thursday, Fingerprint is now trading at a historic low of about 56 Swedish kronor. Many large-cap players kick-started the season of quarterly reports in Sweden this week. Some of them being Tele2, SCA, Nordea, Intrum Justitia, Telia, Ericsson, and others. Most reports receive a good reception from the market with strong results from the end of last year. Troubled Ericsson come in at a lower result than market expectations. Operating result for fourth quarter was minus 0.3 billion Swedish kronor compared to expected 0.38 billion. The board has suggested a shareholder dividend of 1 Swedish krona per share compared to previous 3.7. According to SME Direkt, dividend was expected to be 2.17 Swedish kronor per share. The new CEO, Börje Ekholm, spoke with the Swedish public radio yesterday morning, Thursday, his first real interview since he took over the company. There, he admitted the problems within Ericsson should be taken seriously. Investments have decreased during the last year, but he also stressed that the company's fourth quarter show that the cost reduction program is rendering effect. The stock exchange seems to have found the report good enough. The company stock decreased some initially after the report was announced, but turned around to a plus 2% before closing yesterday, Thursday. That was the headlines for today's program. We will be back again next week with more Nordic news. Thank you for watching.